Well, JSW Energy's made it almost a habit of beating the guidance that they're giving with regards to capacity creation. In effect, the recent biddings that they have done have probably been slightly higher than what the street may have estimated as well. And then they've been on a rampage when it comes to signing of the PPAs as well. So let's talk about all of this just ahead of their numbers, of course, with Mr. Sharad Mahendra, who heads the company currently, to try and understand what's currently happening on ground with regards to the signing of the PPAs and what could happen ahead. Mr. Mahendra, great having you. Thanks for taking the time out. And congrats on a number of factors, really. But I'll start off with the latest news first. The PPAs that you've signed, can we start off with that and then expand the conversation to other factors? One, large PPAs signed cumulatively. What went behind these? Are these very remunerative rates at which these have been signed to? And is this a model that you look to follow for the aggressive pipeline that you have?
Yes, good morning. In fact, yes, last 1 week has been, 10 days have been very, very important for us. The bids which we won about 3.6 gigawatt in Q4 of last fiscal, we have been successful in signing the PPAs in last 7 days of more than 2,000 megawatt. And this, out of which about 1,025 megawatt is wind PPA of SECI, which is the power to be supplied to state of Uttar Pradesh. 700 megawatt of solar, which is a SVJN we have signed the PPA with. The power will be supplied to state of Punjab. And 300 megawatt of solar project, which we are setting up in Khavda in Gujarat, which is a GUVNL bid, which the Gujarat state will be taking these power. So in fact, these are, the PPAs have got signed, I will say, at a decent, within the decent timelines, what we expected. It is basically, the reason is that when we went into the bid after a long pause of almost 2 years, that the returns, our benchmark returns, we were absolutely confident that we are going to get, that we are absolutely certain we are getting, and also the kind of tariffs which were discovered. It's a win-win situation even for the states to buy the power, because getting wind power in the range of around 3.65 rupees per unit is a very, very good tariff. And solar, maybe ranging from 2.53 to 2.6 rupees, is a very good tariff which is there. So I think it's a win-win for both when we have signed these PPAs.
Got it. So the total renewable energy PPAs over 2 gigs, if I'm not wrong, done in a week of sorts. And is this the kind of run rate that you anticipate as well? Because a lot of talk around how we are in a peak power deficit year, if you will, calendar year 24, and not enough capacities coming on stream, thermal or renewable, in the next 12 months, or not coming on stream at the pace at which the country may need.
Yeah, you are very right. In fact, if we see the Q1, which has just ended, yes, the power demand growth has been in excess of 11%. Which no one anticipated that this kind of power demand growth will be there over last year. So definitely, and the peak power demand has reached 250 gigawatt. And the capacity addition rate absolutely definitely is slower than the way the demand growth is happening. So, but yes, coming to our this thing, the pace at which we have signed the PPAs, yes, we have in Q1 also, when 6.3 gigawatt of bidding has taken place, and we have won 30% of that in April-June quarter. The total capacity in pipeline which we have won through bidding is in excess of 5 gigawatt, out of which 2 gigawatt plus has been signed, the PPAs have been signed, and very, very soon, significant more capacities very, very soon will be signed, and then we will be definitely informing. So we are going because we have the timelines of execution, and we are at the same time the team is ready to execute also the projects in time within the timelines.
So, Mr. Mahendra, execution is not becoming a challenge for you or for other large partners, but people in the system or in the sector. Execution is not facing challenges. It used to be something in the past. You don't think execution is a challenge, right? Meeting the timelines.
Last, if we see 2-3 years, execution has not been a challenge. But maybe 6 months back only, we identified the way bidding has taken place, the way the PPAs are going to get signed, these executions, not today, maybe 2 years, 3 years from now, can become a challenge, for which we are already doing some kind of backward integration to de-risk our business. in terms of execution. So we have identified, this is a very, very important point which you raised, that execution not today, next 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, but going forward, if every year 50 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity is to be executed, execution may become a challenge. So we are already working on that, which we identified 6 months back.
Okay, but you don't foresee a challenge to your timelines and the guidances that you'd given, because I believe you ended what, at 7.5 gigs?
We ended 7.3 gigawatts.
7.3 gigawatts. Okay.
And we will be ending the current fiscal in the guidance what we have given, and the first milestone of reaching 10 gigawatt by FY25. We are well on track.
Okay.
A lot of capacity work, project work is on, which will be reaching that number. And also, I would like to state that maybe 2 years back when we said 20 gigawatt by FY30, now with the opportunities which are available and seeing the benchmark returns, what we are getting better than that, or what at least the benchmark returns, we have accelerated our growth, and we are quite confident that we will be reaching this 20 gigawatts significantly earlier, maybe few years earlier to that.
I was about to ask that, because if you will do 10, there is a very healthy pipeline that you have as well, which you've clocked in Feb to June itself. Then 20 in 2030 seems to be a distant dream now. You'll probably do it earlier, much earlier.
Yes, definitely yes.
Okay, we'll wait for the official releases to come out. No harm. Just tell us, how would therefore this mean for the earnings trajectory of a company like yours? Because one question is always the orders coming in, you're getting those. Second is always the funding. You've just done a QIP, if I'm not wrong, and therefore raising money will probably not be an issue as much for you. You've done the necessary legwork for the near term. How does this translate into earnings trajectory? Because you had a strong FY24 too, 30% growth, if I'm not wrong, FY24 on the bottom line. How does this translate moving ahead, sir?
See, the thing is, if you see that a lot of capacities are going to get commissioned during the year. We will be adding close to about 2.5 to 2.8 gigawatt in the current year, but that will come during different times of the current year. This entire 10 gigawatt is going to give me the earnings for full year next year. So it's a continuous process, but QIP raise what we have done. Definitely you are right that it is going to enable us to accelerate our growth. Because there are, apart from these Greenfield projects which we are now starting the work, there are a lot of inorganic opportunities which keep coming in the market space, so which we keep evaluating. And as and when we see that we are getting the desired returns, those opportunities also we keep evaluating. So I think the earnings and everything we will see maybe in about a year or year and a half time from now will be the best time to see that what significant change in the earnings come.
Got it. Just before I get to that growth number, sir, would you look to set up additional thermal capacities at all? There is a plan, there is a need. I mean, the government is talking about it as well. Are you looking down that path, or you're happy with the segue into renewable the way you have?
No, see, our major thirst is towards renewable energy. But that doesn't mean that if there is an opportunity which is there, because we all know that the way demand growth, the pace at which the demand is growing, without thermal, at least it will not be possible to meet the demand, and there will always be a crisis. So if there is a requirement which comes, some of the states are now, again, which has not happened in the last few years, looking towards coming with the bids which they have come up also for setting up thermal power plant, which we have not seen in the last few years. So we evaluate, and we will definitely be open to explore that opportunity also.
Okay, but nothing concrete, nothing on the anvil as yet.
Right now, no, except which we have said that my unit 2 of 350 megawatt of Ind-Bharat, which is going to get commissioned maybe, if not by this month, at least definitely in July.
Okay. Now, last three questions, Mr. Mahendra. First one, when I look at FY24 as well, 2.5 gigawatts, 2.4 gigawatts of solar, 1 gigawatt of wind, I believe 180 to 200 megawatts of FDRE. You're doing a number of different things within this landscape as well. Tell us what excites you the most with a 3-year view.
Yeah. See, the thing is that when we see that this power space that every discom, every state is now evaluating and working on what are the losses they are incurring to optimize the power cost. So it is important that effective use of power intake, what they are PPA they are signing. So we at JSW Energy, like we started with wind, then solar, then hybrid of wind and solar, then FDRE, which is a mix of wind, solar, and energy, battery energy storage, which we have won. So what we have felt that we are working for all key states. I'll just give an example that if we compare a state like Bihar with a state like Maharashtra or Karnataka, we compare, Bihar is majority is agriculture dominated economy, wherein the power consumption pattern on an hourly basis in 24-hour period is very different to Maharashtra, which is a high manufacturing percentage in the total economy is high. Karnataka, which is a mix of manufacturing, more of service industry. So the patterns, we have a dedicated team which works on the usage pattern, and going forward after 5 years, 3 years, how the state is going to be needing the power, and we are designing a solution. And we don't want to be seen, JSW Energy, we don't want to be seen only as a IPP, but we want to be seen as a solution provider by optimizing a product which is best suited for any discom or any state. So that is the theme on which we are working. And in those lines only, we have won the FDRE project also, the hybrid project also, and energy storage also.
Yeah, yep, and all of those are exciting areas. What does this mean? And I know we'll talk about exact numbers, Mr. Mahendra, post your quarter 1 numbers, I understand that. But various estimates peg growth of at least 20 to 25% CAGR for you for the next 3 years at the very least. That is the limited visibility that I have seen in research reports thus far. Are these outlandish or are these realistic numbers?
See, if we see when we talked about the pace and when we are accelerating this 20 gigawatt by 2030, and if we bring it the numbers ahead, we will get to arrive at the numbers. So I think maybe I will not like to comment on the number, especially at this stage. But yes, we will be definitely fastening our growth, accelerating this with the numbers and reaching this capacity much earlier.
Got it. Okay. Well, we wish you all the best with all of that, and we look forward to talking to you, Mr. Mahendra, post your numbers.